Doctor Strange vs Zatanna, Magic Masters Duel. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got an exciting showdown that's been on the minds of comic fans everywhere. Picture this. Marvel's Sorcerer Supreme, Dr. Stephen Strange, facing off against DC's Mistress of Magic, Zatanna. Two of the most powerful magic users from their respective universes going head-to-head. Who would come out on top in this ultimate battle of mystic might? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into their origins, powers, and what might happen if these two legends ever crossed paths. Section 2. Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. Let's kick things off with Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange started as one of the world's most brilliant neurosurgeons. He was at the top of his game, but let's be honest, his ego was just as big as his talent. But everything changed one fateful night. A horrific car accident left his hands, his greatest assets, crippled and shaking. Desperate to heal himself and reclaim his career, Strange spent his fortune seeking cures, but to no avail. His journey led him to the mystical Kamar Taj, where he met the Ancient One. Through rigorous training and a massive shift in perspective, he transformed from a broken man into the Sorcerer Supreme, the primary defender of Earth against mystical threats. Section 3. Powers and Abilities. So, what makes Doctor Strange such a formidable force? First up, his mastery of the mystic arts. He can astral project, separating his spirit from his physical body to explore different planes of existence. Teleportation is a breeze for him, creating portals to anywhere in the universe, and sometimes even beyond. Time manipulation? He's got that covered too, thanks to the Eye of Agamotto, which houses the Time Stone. Speaking of artifacts, Strange's arsenal is nothing short of impressive. The Cloak of Levitation grants him flight and often acts independently to protect him. The Book of the Vishanti contains a wealth of white magic spells, giving him the upper hand against dark forces. His ability to conjure protective spells and shields is top-notch, capable of withstanding attacks from some of the universe's most powerful beings. Section IV. Notable feats. Doctor Strange hasn't earned his title without some incredible feats under his belt. One of the most notable is his confrontation with Dormammu, a godlike entity from the dark dimension. He trapped Dormammu in a time loop, forcing the seemingly unstoppable entity to bargain for release. Then there's his role in the battle against Thanos. Strange used the Time Stone to peer into over 14 million possible futures to find a path to victory. As Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, he routinely protects reality from threats most people don't even know exist. Section V. Weaknesses. But even the Sorcerer Supreme has his weaknesses. Doctor Strange relies significantly on his magical artifacts. While they amplify his powers, losing them can leave him vulnerable. Also, despite his mystical training, he's still human. He needs rest, can be physically injured, and extensive magic use can drain him. Section V. Zatanna, Mistress of Magic. Now, let's switch over to the enchanting Zatanna. Zatanna comes from a lineage steeped in magic. Her father, Giovanni Zatanna, was a famous magician and hero in his own right. She's part of the Homo Magi, a race of humans with innate magical abilities. So, magic isn't just something she learned, it's in her blood. Growing up, she was immersed in both stage magic and true sorcery, blending performance with genuine spellcasting. She took her talents to the stage as a professional magician, but behind the curtain, she fights evil as a superheroine, often collaborating with the Justice League. Section 7. Powers and Abilities. Zatanna's powers are both vast and versatile. Her signature? Casting spells by speaking backwards. It's a unique method that adds a layer of complexity and creativity to her magic. She can manipulate reality itself, altering the very fabric of existence when necessary. Elemental control is at her fingertips, literally. She can command fire, water, earth, and air. Her healing abilities allow her to mend wounds, both physically and sometimes even psychologically. Teleportation and telekinesis? She's a pro. She can transport herself and others across vast distances and move objects with her mind. Section 8. Notable feats. Zatanna has had some jaw-dropping moments in the DC universe. She's been a key player in battles against incredibly powerful foes like Felix Faust and the Upside-Down Man. In some storylines, she's even reshaped reality to prevent disasters or undo catastrophic events. As a member of the Justice League Dark, she tackles threats that are too mystical or supernatural for the main league to handle. Section X. Weaknesses. But with great power comes, you guessed it, weaknesses. Zatanna's magic primarily relies on her ability to speak. If she's silenced, either physically or magically, her capacity to cast spells is severely limited. She's also human, which means she's susceptible to physical harm if caught off guard or overwhelmed. Section X. Comparing their abilities. Alright, let's put these two side by side. Doctor Strange's magic is extensive, but it's often channeled through artifacts and spells learned from ancient texts. His power comes from a combination of his own abilities and external mystical entities and dimensions he taps into. Zatanna's magic is innate, a natural extension of herself, enhanced by lifelong training and practice. She doesn't rely heavily on artifacts, which means there's less for an opponent to exploit. In terms of versatility, both have a wide range of spells, but their specialties differ. Strange excels in complex spells, dimensional manipulation, and strategic use of artifacts. Zatanna shines in reality manipulation, elemental control, and creative spellcasting through her backward-speaking technique. Experience-wise, Strange underwent intense training under the Ancient One, mastering skills at an accelerated rate. Zatanna has been practicing magic her entire life, with a depth of experience that's hard to match. Section 11. Hypothetical duel scenario. Now, let's imagine these two in an epic duel. Both enter the battleground fully aware of each other's reputations. Doctor Strange, ever the tactician, might begin by observing and setting up defensive wards. Zatanna, adaptable and confident, could start with a mix of offensive and probing spells to test his defenses. The initial exchanges would be spectacular, shields deflecting energy blasts, portals redirecting spells, the environment shifting under their influence. They'd likely engage in a battle of wits as much as magic, using illusions and misdirection. Strange might attempt to silence Zatanna, perhaps using spells to bind her voice or create zones of silence. Zatanna could counter by targeting his artifacts, speaking spells that disarm or teleport them away. As the duel escalates, the very fabric of reality around them could start to warp, time loops from Strange, reality alterations from Zatanna. Section 12. Potential outcomes. So, who would win this clash of titans? If Strange successfully neutralizes Zatanna's ability to speak, he'd severely limit her offensive capabilities. On the other hand, if Zatanna manages to separate Strange from his key artifacts, she could tip the scales in her favor. Strange's time manipulation could give him an edge, allowing him to foresee and counter her moves. But Zatanna's reality warping spells might override even his temporal adjustments. There's also the possibility that their powers could counterbalance each other, leading to a stalemate. Perhaps they'd recognize the futility of the battle and team up against a greater threat, classic comic book style. Section 13. Conclusion. At the end of the day, both Doctor Strange and Zatanna are incredibly powerful and resourceful. They each have unique strengths and vulnerabilities that could sway the outcome depending on numerous factors. This hypothetical duel highlights not just who might win, but also showcases the richness of their characters. Cross-universe battles are all in good fun and allow us to explore the endless possibilities within the comic realms. Section 14. Fan opinions and debates. But hey, that's just one perspective. The fan community has plenty to say on this matchup. Some fans argue that Doctor Strange's strategic mind and experience with cosmic entities give him the upper hand. Others feel that Zatanna's raw magical prowess and versatility make her a formidable opponent who could outmaneuver Strange. We've seen polls and debates with passionate arguments on both sides, and honestly, it's amazing to see such engagement. Section 15. Final thoughts. What really matters is that both characters bring something special to their universes. Doctor Strange opens doors to the vast and often bizarre dimensions of Marvel's multiverse. Zatanna adds a touch of enchantment and complexity to DC's lineup, bridging the gap between the mystical and the superheroic. Magic in comics isn't just about spells and enchantments, it's a storytelling tool that adds depth, challenges, and wonder. Section 16. Call to action. So, what do you think? If Doctor Strange and Zatanna faced off, who would emerge victorious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your theories and debates. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow comic enthusiasts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next epic matchup. Got suggestions for future videos? Let us know. We're always open to exploring new fan theories and battles. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep those imaginations soaring.